Easy. Can Landry Jones lead the team to victory this week?
I could.
Don't even need him, I guess.
Welcome to the Steel City. Is everybody ready to go? Let's proclaim the greatest radio show.
Welcome, fans, to our Week 10 Steelers preview. I'm your host, Jim Sella, in studio with Jay Dash and Big Easy. Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Cleveland Browns for the third home game in a row. Not against the Browns. That would be a record. They lost the first one, won the second one, and are looking to go 2-1 here on this three-game homestand. Going into the bye week, the biggest story, no Ben Roethlisberger. Baby, the door is ajar, though. Although the studio door is closed, Ben's door is ajar.
He's not playing.
I think it's for all the Facebook fans so they can put their stupid little articles and posts or whatever you call them on there. Irritate me.
What's the line at right now?
The line's -5.
-5. So if you
Landry Jones a quarterback.
Yeah, if you think Big Ben is going to play for some reason, then go get that bet in now, I would say, because I believe if Big Ben was healthy enough to play, they would win this game by at least a touchdown.
You know, Mike Tomlin has never lost to the Browns at home.
No, I didn't know that. Yeah, I mean, we smoked the Browns, no doubt about it.
Well, Le'Veon Bell smokes the reefer.
Yeah, we're without a lot of players on offense, and like you said, Big Ben, the biggest loss of them all.
Please believe.
But people seem to believe in Landry Jones around here. We got 3 comments this week on the Raiders recap, all promoting Landry Jones.
They love him.
The Sindine said, I like Landry Jones. He could be great if they let him loose, especially with our receiving core. LGG Stallo trademarked Boost Mobile User HD.
How do you even say that? I can't even say it. I stumble every time
said,
I
I
try.
think Jones will have a big game, and I think he will get his first win as a starter for Pittsburgh. And Ninja Zombie said Landry Jones needs a chance. I feel he will be amazing. So there you go. People believe in Landry Jones, and they were questioning us why we don't like Landry Jones, because really he only has played, 3 professional games so far? He looked good in 2 games that he didn't start, but in the 1 game he did start, he did not look good at all, and he was turning the ball over a lot in that game.
Albeit on the road.
But it was against a team that was
reeling.
Reeling. They're very bad against the pass, too, and they could not get it done in that game. But, I mean, Kansas City, they have come back since then and look like a little bit better of a team, so we'll have to see where Kansas City goes from here. Maybe that was a tough matchup for Landry.
Oh, they blasted Detroit, I know, in London.
Yeah.
See what they do against Denver, but that's besides the point. Faith in Landry, let it be. He needs a little bit of help.
Well, this should be a good matchup for him, too. I mean, Cleveland's defense is not that good. They're, 21st against the pass, I believe, and they're dead last against the run. So it would be big for the Steelers if DeAngelo Williams would happen to play in this game. Is he supposed to play at this point?
He was held out of practice. Hold on, let me look at my notes.
Yeah, I seen he wasn't practicing earlier in the week.
He did not practice today.
So it might be Jordan Todman against this terrible Cleveland run defense, but
JT.
Landry Jones ain't that bad. I mean, he's not great. He's gone 28 of 47 this year for 456 yards. Dude's got a 95.7 quarterback rating. That's actually better than Roethlisberger's. I'm not saying he's better, but I'm saying he's got a quarterback rating that's serviceable at least.
Well, if he can't win at home against the Browns, he's done.
Well, yeah.
This is a shot.
And let's not forget, like I said, the receivers really helped him out too. Antonio Brown and Martavis Bryant took 10-yard passes for what? Martavis Bryant's was 70 yards?
70
something like that.
Yeah, Browns went 53
59,
or 57.
I believe it was.
Cleveland's only won twice in Pittsburgh since 1990. So even with garbage quarterbacks like Neil O'Donnell and Cordell Stewart and Mike Tomczak and all those crews that we had before Big Ben. So, I mean, come on.
2 times
man.
in the last 25
It's not all about
years.
quarterback, though, either. And we don't know what we're going to see out of Landry Jones. The last time he started a game, he did not look very good. So it'd be huge if DeAngelo Williams played in this game, because I'm not sure I can trust Jordan Todman either. Now, in terms of fantasy or something, I would play Jordan Todman, but DeAngelo Williams is a running back that can help you win games.
I don't know anything about Jordan Todman.
He played for Jacksonville. He was pretty decent out there. I mean, he's a good backup. Nothing terrible, but he's not a guy I want to be my starter.
He's got 113 carries in his career for 464 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's better than Isaiah Pede, who has 19 carries for 78 yards.
Yeah, it's not an ideal situation for the Steelers' offense.
The Steelers are rushing for 133 yards as an offense. The Browns are giving up 147 yards on defense. It doesn't really seem like it matters a lot who's back there. I mean, all these guys back there are better than Josh Harris. It's not like last year when we lost Le'Veon and we had nobody with even any real experience. At least Todman, Pede, I mean, these guys have played. And nothing says that DeAngelo is not going to play. He's a veteran guy. He doesn't need to practice on Wednesday to play on Sunday.
We'll have to see what happens.
If he doesn't practice Friday, then I'd be worried about it.
Yeah, he has to get one practice in, I believe.
Yeah, Friday's the one that you got to be in. If you're not there, then you worry. But does it really matter if Antonio Brown catches 25 passes for 833 yards again?
I don't think he's
Can he
going to
do
do
that?
that with Landry all game.
I mean, all you got to do is give him the ball in short yardage situations. He'll just take it out his own way. Boom.
I mean, you think so, but we've seen without Big Ben before that
Yeah, you're right.
necessarily didn't happen.
It's wishful thinking.
And plus, Martavis Bryant right now doesn't look like he's on top of his game. He's making mistakes.
Is he even a receiver on our team right now? Because he just drops the ball a lot.
Marcus Wheaton didn't have a good game. Darius Hayward-Bay didn't have a good game. Our receiving core seems a little bit depleted right now. There's some guys that can make plays out there. It's just nobody seems to be on the same page. And now you're bringing in your backup quarterback again for the second time this season. I mean, it's been a quarterback carousel for the Pittsburgh Steelers this season. I don't know how well the Steelers are going to play offensively in this game. And to me, that's the key. How is the Steelers offense going to play against a bad Browns defense, really? I mean, they have Joe Hayden out there, and Carlos Dansby is still out there playing good football. Paul Kruger's still out there. Danny Shelton really hasn't done much for him this season. That was their first-round draft pick. And another guy I like out there is Dante Whitner, but
Him and Joe Hayden are missing the game, along with Joel Bitonio. I don't know. They're left guard.
Joe Hayden is out,
Yeah, concussion.
and Dante Whitner is out.
Concussion.
Man, so this defense is shredded then. I mean, they're not good to begin with, and two of their best players are out right now. Dante Whitner is second on this team in tackles, and he's one of their best players out there. So this is going to be...
He's a playmaker in the defensive backfield, so it'll be a big loss for them.
Their defense
That's the good
is
news about this game, and Landry Jones and backup running backs and backup everybody is all they got to do is not beat themselves, and I don't like to use that cliche a lot. But if they don't come out and turn the ball over a whole bunch of times, we should be able to still squeak this out. It's probably not going to be pretty. I wouldn't be surprised if it was 13-6 at the end of this football game. It's going to be one of those slow, grinded out games. You're going to see a lot of run, pass from the Steelers, run, pass. Landry, I think, threw it 29 times or something in his one start against Kansas City. So they'll put the ball up a little bit. I did read earlier today that Tomlin said he'll be allowed to run the no huddle if it's necessary. But, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you want Landry trying to do that. But Josh McCown, he could put up yards in the passing game if he plays. I almost wish Johnny Manziel would play just so we know we'd win automatically because that dude is garbage.
Yeah, I think it'd be a lot easier with Johnny Manziel. But Josh McCown, you're right, he can get it done in the passing game. I'm not afraid of their run game. Isaiah Crowell is the guy that they feature in their running game. Duke Johnson gets a little bit of carries out there too. But Crowell has a 3.3 yard per carry average, and Duke Johnson 3 yards per carry. So they're not doing much on the ground out there. Just 2 rushing TDs on the season. They don't break off big runs. So I'm not really worried about their run game out there. But, I mean, they do have a decent passing game. Josh McCown has had a good season. I know he's a little bit injured right now, so we'll have to see if he is back fully healthy or not. But he's been playing well this season, and he has some weapons out there. Travis Benjamin has played pretty well out there. He's on pace for 1,000 yards. Gary Barnidge is a guy that you really have to watch in his game because, you know, the Pittsburgh Steelers get beat against tight ends.
Please believe. They eat us up.
Yeah, Antonio Gates did it. Rob Gronkowski did it. Even Vernon Davis had a pretty decent game against the Steelers defense. And Gary Barnidge got into the end zone 6 times this season. He's also on pace for 1,000 yards. And let's not forget about Duke Johnson out of the backfield. This is one of their biggest weapons as well. But I think it's pretty much just those 3 players. And outside of that, I mean, there's Brian Hartline and Dwayne Bowe. I mean, they got some other receivers, but no one that you have to really worry about. I think just on the offensive side, it's just Benjamin, Barnidge, and Duke Johnson are the 3 guys you got to watch out for. And really, in this game, considering what the Steelers do well and don't do well defensively, Gary Barnidge is a guy you're really going to have to look out for in this game. And that's the one way that Cleveland can put up points in his game.
So he's going to be wide open in the end zone then?
It's possible.
Uncovered. Out of those three, which one are we going to leave uncovered wide open in the end zone?
I wouldn't leave any of them uncovered. None of them are Lima Sweet.
Well, we've done it almost every game, so.
No, we've done it twice this year that I remember.
It's been more than that, but we'll leave. I'll say Barnage will be wide.
Wide open.
Yep.
Are the Browns going to be able to torch the Steelers for big plays like the Raiders did?
Well, if they're going to, like I said, it has to be in the passing game. They only have 3 runs over 20 yards. But between Benjamin and Barnage, they have 17 plays over 20 yards. And Duke Johnson has 5 as well. So they're going to have to get it done in the passing game. And I think that the guy that you have to worry about the most there, I know Barnage has more than Benjamin, but Benjamin's really that big play guy in my opinion.
The Browns are a weird team because they can put up yards and they could beat you, or they could just do nothing. I mean, it really is weird. They could come out and light you up for 35 points one week. And if I seen that, I wouldn't be too surprised. But then if I came out and seen them score 3 points, I'd probably just laugh at them because they're the freaking Browns. Is there anybody on defense that scares you with Whitner out? Because I'm not really concerned. The D-line, they played well last year. They're not playing too well this year.
I mean, you got to give it up to Carlos Dansby, man. He's leading his team in tackles and actually interceptions with 2. And this is an older player here. I mean, this is a guy that's had a pretty long career, and he's been a good player throughout his career. So, I mean, you always got to watch out for Dansby.
Whose front seven's better, Pittsburgh's or Cleveland's?
I'd have to go with Pittsburgh, man. Are you kidding me?
I'm just here to ask the questions, my friend.
That's a terrible question.
Well, just because the answer's easy doesn't make it a bad question.
All right, it was a great question.
All right, see, thank you.
Whatever.
Question sucked.
What do you guys hate on my questions, man?
No, you might as well.
I won't ask any more questions.
Are you Mr. Sarcastic? Because
No.
Well, what are we talking? What's the front 7 for people that don't know anything about
Your
football?
D-line and your linebackers.
Okay. Well, who's hurt? Shazier's busted.
Shazier's hurt.
Someone else.
James Harrison got a swollen knee.
Steve McClendon had limited participation in practice today.
So there's some swollenness and some knees.
Well, I mean, we all know the Steelers are beat up, and on both sides of the ball, they're missing players, and they've been in and out of games all season. But from what you just told me about the Cleveland Browns, their defense is beat up. So between the two, I mean, the Steelers still have an advantage here. They've always had an advantage over the Browns, and when both teams are beat up, I'd say the Steelers still have the advantage. But with Josh McCown, I'd say Cleveland does have the better quarterback in this game. We'll have to see how healthy he is.
I'm seeing right here that Joe Thomas did not participate in practice today, non-injury related, so keep an eye on that.
Diarrhea.
He's been angry with the Browns. They tried to trade him right before the deadline, and they couldn't work out a deal. Apparently, him and his agent wanted to get out of there, and the Browns wanted more than they thought, they should be asking for, blah, blah, blah. So maybe Thomas is pissed off and just not going to play.
Who's Cleveland's punter?
Severe diarrhea.
I don't know. Do they
Andy
have a punter?
Lee. Who did Antonio Brown kick in the face? Was it Andy Lee? Doubtful.
Andy
I don't
Lee.
think so.
That guy sounds familiar. Where'd he go to college?
Pitt.
Believe it.
Lanning. The dude who Antonio Brown kicked in the face, his last name was Lanning.
Oh, well, Andy Lee better watch out.
Yeah, Brown will kick you in the
Might
face.
take one straight to the face. Look, bottom line, the Cleveland Browns are 1-6 in their last 7 games.
Yep, and they haven't won in Pittsburgh in pretty much almost our whole lifetimes. So
And I mean, it's mostly on the defense. Like I said, at least they have a passing game offensively out there. There's been years where they've had nothing offensively. They do have the passing game, but really their defense has just not been good this season.
the Steelers have been good at stopping the run, forcing you to pass. They give up a lot of yards, but they don't give up a lot of points. The Browns don't run the ball well. Good for Pittsburgh. They throw the ball, so that could hurt us a little bit. But we're good in the red zone on defense. We'll pick McCown and company off, keep the score low. Landry scores a couple points. I mean, the Steelers' offense should still be able to at least put 14 points on the board. I mean, do you need more than that to beat Cleveland?
I'm not sure, man. We'll have to see how McCown looks in this game. I mean, they can put up points. The 2 games they won this season, they put up 33 points on the Ravens, and they put up 28 points on the Titans. That might be what it takes for them to win another game this season, because their defense, like I said, if you can't stop the run, I've been saying this all season, if you can't stop the run, then you're not going to stop anything.
Well, since my last question was garbage according to Easy, and you obviously, Dash.
Garbage.
Is Landry Jones going to be better and more comfortable in his second start in the NFL compared to his first start, especially since it's at home?
I mean, that's a big part of it. It is at home, and right now, I mean, this defense definitely isn't any better than the Kansas City Chiefs defense, so he should look a little better. I mean, I'm still worried about it, though, obviously. I need to see it in a full game from him. Like we said before, it's a lot easier to come into a game and play well than it is for defenses to prepare for you for a full week.
So in those first drives, the first, 15 to 20 plays that are scripted, would you try to get Landry to get a couple completions early to get him confident and in a rhythm? Or do you try to run the ball early to try to get the safeties to move up to the line and then hit a big play to build his confidence?
Well, look, we've seen he can make the throws. There's times that he can make the throws. The problem is the turnovers. All he has to do is keep from turning the ball over in this game, and it'll be a lot different. I mean, we seen in the game against Kansas City, the big reason that I came out of that game saying he didn't have a good game was because he turned the ball over. If he would have just held on to the ball and had the same exact stats he had, he'd have had a decent game in my mind. But when you turn the ball over, you don't give your defense a chance to win that game for you.
Yeah, turnovers are a bitch.
So
They'll
that's
kill
pretty
you
much
every
it.
time.
Landry, I mean, I trust him to make a lot of these throws, but I also don't trust him not to turn the ball over at this point. But Antonio Brown got to help him out, too. You remember one of those turnovers was on him.
The whole time Ben was out, the receivers struggled a little bit compared to what they usually do. Brown dropped a few. DHB dropped some. Wheaton drops everything you throw to him. Martavis let the team down and got suspended.
Even with Ben in, outside of Antonio Brown, you really didn't see much.
Yeah, they need to pick it up. They were considered a strength coming into the season, and now I feel like they're the weakest part of the offense.
They can pick it up, though. They got the talent to do it.
Easy. The Steelers lead the NFL with a 5.1 rush average. Can they do it with Jordan Todman?
No.
It's not the line, it's the backs. Obviously Le'Veon Bell, but we've been able to do it with DeAngelo. He's averaging 5.3 yards per rush.
I've never heard of Jordan Tallman.
He runs hard between the tackles.
He's a solid back, man.
Oh, we'll
He's
find
not
out.
terrible.
If the third,
we may find out.
If a guy off the street goes for 5 a carry, then God bless him. I don't see it happening this Sunday, though.
No, I don't either, just because Landry Jones is in a quarterback. I know Cleveland, they're terrible against the run, but if it is Jordan Todman and Landry Jones in the backfield, I think they're going to stack the line a little bit and just make sure that Todman doesn't run all over him. And, yeah, 5 yards per carry is pushing it for Todman.
If we start Williams, I'd like to see him run the ball a little bit early, get the offense in a rhythm, let Landry get comfortable with some play action and throw the football. If they start Todman, I would almost definitely throw the ball deep on the first play of the game, or at least the first drive of the game, because they're definitely stacking the line if you got Todman up there, because you're going to force Landry to throw, and you know Todman's not going to be able to do a whole lot. You could stop him in the backfield. So you just get over the top, you soften that defense up a little bit, you help Todman out, give him some room. He's not a terrible pass catcher. If you can get him 2 or 3 opportunities to catch the ball in space and move out in the side, he could be all right, but you're not going to see, 200 yards from DeAngelo Williams last week? You're not going to see that out of him. Might see that out of DeAngelo if he plays again. That dude was going crazy last week.
So what's your key to victory?
Don't turn the ball over. 0 turnovers.
I mean, that's what it is.
And I know that's a key every week to beat every team, but that's literally the key this week. Everything else should fall into place. The talent is there. The offensive structure is there. The organization's just so much better than Cleveland at this point in time. Josh McCown, if he's playing, he's going to be playing hurt. And if he's not, Johnny Manziel's playing. So that hurts the Browns either way. I think Pittsburgh's defense can get to McCown. They can sack him a few times, get in his face a little bit. He'll start short-arming some passes. He won't be able to step up into all his throws. So as long as Pittsburgh does not turn the ball over and beat themselves, they should win this football game. What about you, Ease?
Jacoby Jones.
Oh, no.
Has he got to average more than 1 yard per return?
That's the key to victory.
We
need plays. We need plays, and we need field position. And I guess if he's the one that's going to return punts now all of a sudden and kickoffs and all that, he needs to make a play.
Antonio Brown said he wants to keep doing it. He's not happy.
We talked about this last Sunday. As far as I'm concerned, I don't need Antonio Brown running punts back. This is the NFL. You're the Pittsburgh Steelers. You can't find a punt returner. You got to put your all-pro, number one best wide receiver in there on punts, I'm not taking that. No, number one, he fumbled last week and almost cost us the game. So that right there, I'd say, all right, you're on the bench next week. But if he hurts himself returning a punt, our season is over. So letting Dre Archer go was ridiculous, even though Dre Archer, I could care less about him. But then we bring in Jacoby Jones, who has no idea what's going on. We might as well have just signed Wes Welker with him and brought in these dudes and we'll just wang it with them.
Wang it.
That's it. Oh, my key to victory was Jacoby Jones changing the field position of the game.
I mean, that's a big thing when in a game like this. It's going to be
field
a sloppy in the trenches game, so field position will mean a lot.
Field position, return game,
hopefully
kicking
our punter
game.
Doesn't shank it too.
Hopefully the Wizard of Boz doesn't miss one again.
Love that dude.
Yeah, stay up, Boz.
Well, I'm not worried about Cleveland's run game. Obviously, they don't run the ball very well, and the Steelers stop the run very well. Cleveland does have a decent passing game, but they also get sacked a ton, and the Steelers didn't get to the quarterback last week against Oakland, and they
probably won't this week either.
No, listen, they've done it pretty well this season. Well, first of all, the Oakland Raiders have a very good offensive line, and they didn't let up many sacks all season long. I think it's something like 8. Now, the Cleveland Browns, like I said, 30 between Manziel and Josh McCown. So I think they're going to get to the quarterback a lot better this week. So I'm not worried about our defense compared to their offense. And the Cleveland Browns, like I said, they can't stop the run. If DeAngelo Williams plays, great. If Jordan Todman goes, I still think he's going to have a decent game. He's not going to average 5 yards per carry like you guys said before. But I think he can still go out there and have a decent game and help the Steelers win. It's all going to come down to the passing game. And we've seen Landry Jones make some nice plays, and we also seen him make some big mistakes as well. And it's really about those mistakes. If he could just cut down on those, I'm going to go with you, Jim, and say Landry Jones, not just the offense not turning the ball over. Landry Jones, just hold on to the ball. Let other people make the mistakes.
An early Thanksgiving feast for Pittsburgh this week. What's your prediction, Dash? I'm making you go first. You're always making me go first.
I don't know what the Steelers' offense is going to do in this game. I'm going to say the defense goes out and plays pretty well, has one of their better games this season. 18-10, Pittsburgh.
I think Martavis Bryant has his breakout game. Maybe not a breakout game, but a big game. He's not going to do no Antonio Brown, but he's going to get a touchdown. He's going to have some big yards. I think it's a low-scoring game. I'm thinking like 14-6. I think the defense shuts it down this week.
Duke Johnson's a beast, though.
21-10 or 21-20.
21.
Ooh, a squeaker.
Tight game.
Yeah, because we suck. We're hanging on by a thread.
We don't suck, man. We're just beat up.
We are hanging on by a thread.
But yeah, you're right there.
Well, right now, though, Pittsburgh is the number 6 seed in the playoffs. So if the playoffs started today, Pittsburgh's in. Cleveland Browns way out, 2-7.
Yeah,
you're beating us.
Yeah, Cleveland's garbage, but we're hanging on by a thread.
This is an important game as far as the playoffs go.
It's a very important game.
Bills are 4-4.
Bryant.
Raiders are 4-4. Chiefs are 3-5. Dolphins are 3-5. Those are really the 4 teams that I feel like could catch Pittsburgh.
This is a W they need and must have.
Please believe.
I don't care who's playing. If it's next man up, they need it. They need this.
Yeah, I don't really
know. It'd be different if Cleveland was 7-2 and we're going into this. They're not.
Did the Steelers have a letdown game with Big Ben yet? This could be their letdown game.
St. Louis, we were barely holding on in that first half with Big Ben. I think we'll be all right this week. Squeaker, but we're going to get it.
But we could go out there and blow them out. Who knows?
Never.
Yeah, Cleveland's garbage.
Listen, if you can't stop the run, man, you can't do anything, though.
You said 18. He said 14. I said 21. Landry Jones.
I'm not giving much credit to Landry Jones. A lot of people believe in him. If he goes out there and plays like he did in the second half of that Arizona game or like he did in the second half of that Oakland game, he didn't go out and do great things. The receivers helped him out a lot, but if they can go out there and help him out like that, there's no doubt they could go out and put up 30 points in this game because the Cleveland defense, like I said, if you can't stop the run, it's hard to stop the pass, too.
It'd be nice to just go up 21-0 at halftime and then coast the rest of the way. Screw you, Cleveland. You're garbage.
I like Duke Johnson. Travis Benjamin isn't that bad. I like Gary Barnidge, too.
They're all garbage this week.
And I like Carlos Dansby.
He's garbage.
And Dante Whitner. He's hurt.
Garbage. That's it. Anything else you got to say?
I like turtles.
Who doesn't? Fans, follow us on Twitter. Let us know if you like turtles at bet_the_spread. Follow me on Twitter at betjimthewin. Check out the Facebook page at facebook.com/betthespread. Keep coming back to YouTube and click and subscribe. Listen for more than 15 minutes. 200 subscribers, by the way.
Neat.